Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm so happy you are here to share this space with me today. I've decided to start a very personal and important journey, and I wanted to share it with you from day one. Tomorrow, I will be taking my very first dose of Wegovy. This isn't a decision I made lightly, but it's one I'm taking out of a place of deep self-love and desire for a healthier future. I want to try this medication because I believe it's the helping hand I need to reclaim my health and my mobility. Thank you for joining me as I take this first optimistic step toward a brand new chapter of my life. Today, I am taking you with me on a little adventure through New Westminster. We are heading to the beautiful Anvil Center to see a play called Burning Mom by Maiko Auchi. As I prepared to take my first dose of Wegovy, I felt it was important to get out and soak in some inspiration. Traveling to the theater feels like the perfect way to spend this weekend while this medical transition begins. The spark for this change actually came from a video a dear friend sent me. It asked a simple but haunting question. If I don't make any changes in my life right now, where will I be in 5 years? That really hit home. I sat down and looked at my life. In 5 years, I'll be nearly 58 years old. When I projected my current path forward, I saw someone with even less mobility and more pain. I realized that if I want my 60s to be vibrant and full of life, I have to act today. I want to be able to enjoy my 50s and beyond with energy, not just watch the years pass by. Returning to the play, the Burning Man Festival is an annual event held in Nevada Black Rock Desert, where thousands of participants gather to build Black Rock City, a temporary metropolis dedicated to community and art. Held during the week leading up to Labor Day, the festival celebrates radical self-expression and creativity through massive installations and performances. Guided by 10 core principles, the culture emphasizes gifting over commerce and a strict leave no trace policy. The experience reaches its peak with the symbolic burning of a towering wooden effigy. It is a unique social experiment where attendees must bring everything they need to survive. I've never been what people consider lightweight. Since I was young, I've had a pear-shaped body, always a bit larger than my friends, usually wearing a size 9 in my hips and a size 5 in my bust. For a long time, I felt so much shame about my hips. In my 20s, I fought hard to stay at a size 7 by spending 2 hours at the gym every single day. Even in my 30s, after moving to Canada, I kept up that rigorous pace to stay between a size 9 and 11. However, things changed after a partial meniscectomy on my knee. Suddenly, the intense exercise I relied on became painful and I had to start slowing down. As I moved into my 40s and now my early 50s, the weight began to climb rapidly, moving from 75 kilograms to 100 kilograms. I went from a size 11 to a size 20, and my world started to feel smaller. At 53, I was diagnosed with osteoarthritis. It has been heartbreaking to go from walking rigorously for hours to only being able to manage a gentle 30 minutes routine with light weights. My mobility is so limited now because the pain in my joints is just too severe to push further. I'm still so young at heart, and I refuse to accept that this limited movement is going to be my permanent reality. My family history weighs heavily in my mind. My father passed away near the age of 70 from diabetes and an inoperable brain tumor. My mother was only 69 when we lost her. She suffered from severe rheumatoid arthritis and had been on heavy pain medications since her early 40s. Eventually, her body just couldn't take any more surgeries, pain, and medications. In Mexico, where I am from, the average life expectancy is often in the 70s, and the healthy life is 61, and very few in my family make it to their 80s or 90s. Seeing the struggles my parents face with their health has made me realize that I want to choose a different, more comfortable path for my own senior years. When I painted that picture of myself at 58 based on my family history and current health, it wasn't a picture I liked. I saw a future with less and less mobility, and that truly scared me. I want to be active. I want to be present. I've tried every behavioral change you can imagine, countless diets and various exercise routines, but I reached the point where I couldn't make significant changes to my size on my own. I finally had to be honest with myself and admit that I needed help. Wegovy isn't a shortcut for me. It is a vital tool to help me overcome a plateau I cannot break alone. For a long time, I thought GLP-1 medications were only for patients with diabetes. But after doing a lot of my own research, I discovered that many people are using them successfully for weight management. I'll admit, I was so nervous to talk to my doctor. We live in a world where we are often unfairly labeled as lazy or unmotivated, and I feared being judged. Thankfully, my doctor was wonderful. He explained me everything clearly, including the potential side effects like headaches, stomachaches, nausea, and constipation. Knowing the risks helped me feel prepared rather than afraid, and I felt supported in my decision to finally start this medical treatment. Despite the potential side effects, my answer was a resounding yes. I cannot keep going in the same direction. Over the last 12 years, I've gained 25 kilograms, and I simply cannot allow that trend to continue. I want a life that is physically easier, where every step doesn't feel like a struggle. While I know this journey will cost money and physical discomfort as my body adjusts, the cost of staying the same is much higher. I've watched so many videos to prepare myself, and I've scheduled my first injection for tomorrow, Friday. This way, I have the whole weekend to rest and recover if symptoms are difficult. One of the biggest hurdles right now is the cost, as Wegovy can be almost 500 Canadian dollars per month out of pocket in Canada. To help with this, I'm currently in the process of submitting an approval request to my private health insurance plan. I've gathered all the necessary paperwork, including a detailed medical justification and approval from my doctor, and I've officially submitted everything for review. Now, I'm just waiting for the results, hoping they will cover at least part of the cost. It's a bit stressful to wait, but I know that getting this financial support would make this long-term commitment so much more manageable and sustainable for me. Something very hopeful on my horizon is that the patents of these GLP-1 medications are beginning to expire. Because of this, several labs are already submitting applications to produce generic versions of these drugs. It is expected that these more affordable options could hit the Canadian market as early as summer 2026. Experts anticipate the price could drop significantly, potentially around 150 Canadians per month. This change will make life-changing journey accessible for so many more people, including me, ensuring that long-term health isn't just a luxury, but a reality we all can sustain. I've been studying how to make this work best for my body. I know I need to prioritize high protein and fiber while keeping carbs and oil low. Hydration is going to be key. Most importantly, I must continue with weight training. Because of my osteoarthritis, my cartilage is thin, so my muscles are what actually protect my bones and reduce pain during movement. I cannot afford to lose muscle mass. In fact, I need to build it. I know some people regain weight after stopping the medication, but I'm focused on the light at the end of the tunnel. Doing nothing is no longer an option for my future. I'm also encouraged by my 27-year-old niece, who has been on GLP-1 medication for a year now. She is pre-diabetic, so her reasons for starting were different than mine, but she has successfully lost all her extra weight. Seeing her success reminds me that while everyone's path and reasons are unique, this advancement in medicine can truly change lives. Her journey has shown me that it is possible to take control of your health with the right support. We are all fighting different battles, but we can all move toward the same goal of wellness and a happier, more energetic life. I've come to realize that obesity is such a complex problem. It's not just about willpower. It's a mix of our biology, our minds, our genetics, and our environment. It is a multi-layered challenge that doesn't have a simple one-size-fits-all cure. It's especially tough when you manage to lose weight only to have it creep back a few years later. By acknowledging that this is a medical and biological issue, I've been able to forgive myself for past struggles. Understanding the science behind weight management helps me approach this journey with a kinder heart and a more realistic perspective of what it takes to heal. I did read that about 1% of people are resistant to GLP-1 medications and don't lose weight. My biggest wish is that I'm not in that small group. I remember trying the keto diet when everyone else was losing weight so quickly, yet I saw almost no changes after months of effort. I've learned that what works for me is exercising more than dieting, but with the osteoarthritis problem, now that door is slowly closing. So I need to help my body and my joints by losing weight. I'm staying positive and hopeful that this is the key that will finally unlock the door to my better health. Based on what I've read from clinical trials, people often lose about 15% of their body weight on this treatment. My doctor estimates that I will likely be on this medication for 1 to 2 years to reach my goals. Honestly, if I can lose 20 kilograms in that time frame, I will be absolutely happy. That amount of weight loss would take so much pressure off my joints and give me back the freedom to move without such intense pain. It feels like a realistic and sustainable goal, and knowing there is a clear time frame helps me to stay focused on a long-term rewards of this process. Returning to the play, Burning Mom is a story about a 63-year-old woman named Dorothy who finds herself at a crossroad after her husband passes away. Instead of letting grief shrink her world, she decided to drive a massive 20-foot RV from Calgary all the way to the Burning Man Festival in the Nevada desert, a trip of almost 2,000 kilometers in around 23 hours. It is a story about the bravery it takes to reinvent yourself when life feels heavy and limited. Watching Dorothy navigate the dusty playa and reclaim her spirit is exactly the kind of motivation I need right now. It's a reminder that we can always choose a brand new chapter. As I leave the theater and head back home, I can't help but see my own reflection in Dorothy's journey. Just as she refused to let her circumstances define her future, I am choosing to fight for my own mobility and health. Wegovy is my RV, the vital tool that is going to help me navigate the difficult terrain of obesity and joint pain. In 5 years, I don't want to be someone with less mobility. I want to be vibrant, active, and present, just like the burning mom on a stage today. Thank you so much for listening to my story. This is just the beginning, and I feel so much peace heading into tomorrow. Wish me luck as I take my first injection. I promise to keep you updated on how I'm feeling, the process I'm making, and everything I learn along the way. If you are in a similar journey, remember to be kind to yourself. We are doing our best. I'll see you in the next video with my first update. Bye for now and take good care of yourselves. See you later.